Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder. It's our First NBC Bank weekend preview brought to you by First NBC Bank with 35 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana and the Florida Panhandle. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of SportsNola.com. Football weekend upon us, high school, college, pro. Where do you want to go? I guess we'll start with the Saints since they kick off their NFL season 3:05 Sunday at Arizona against the Cardinals. And Lenny, so much intrigue here. Carson Palmer trying to return. How mobile can he be? Can the Saints get a pass rush on him? Can their chopped-up secondary hold up? And what of their offense? Do they have the wide receivers capable of making plays? I guess we'll start getting all of these questions answered.
Yeah, we will. And we finally know a little bit of something about injuries. The concern to me is this, is you had 6 guys who did not practice at all on Wednesday. And we'll see more, obviously, as we get closer to Friday, and they'll start declaring guys out or doubtful or questionable or probable. And we'll, of course, have all of that for you here at SportsNola.com when that information becomes available to us. But that said, if you got 6 guys that are out of practice on Wednesday, and a lot of those guys seem like they could be in question for this game, then that pretty much takes care of your inactive list right there. You're only putting 7 guys down out of your 53. You're leaving 46 up. Kind of limit your options. And, you know, we touched on this a little bit in terms of how the roster looked, you know, after the first couple of iterations. They're short at wide receiver. They're short at tight end. And obviously they feel like they've got to carry some extra guys in some spots. But, you know, they've still got just 2 free safeties, you know, and how do you deal with that? Do you swing a corner possibly to play free safety in an emergency? So some things that obviously Sean Payton and staff are working out. You know, they've got plans for everything. So, you know, and you know, those, you know, in the event something happens, they're going to be ready for whatever it is out there. But those are the things that I look at leading into this opener. And you mentioned the pass rush. You know, this was virtually inexistent in the preseason. And let me tell you, if you let Carson Palmer sit back there, he's going to pick apart what's left of that secondary. You have to get some pressure on him. However it is, you've got to get pressure, whether it's through blitzes, whether it's through your front 4. Let's see what happens. In my mind, that is the key matchup on Sunday. The Saints front 7 in passing downs, trying to get to Palmer and throw him off his rhythm.
And if you do get pressure, then you got to get there. So we'll see how they're able to accomplish that. He can't move. That we know that much. He's a wooden soldier when it comes to styles of quarterback. So intriguing indeed. Questions to be answered. We'll see what happens. And trying to get past the distraction of Cam Jordan as well. I suspect that will go away, but stay tuned for that too. With regard to college football, Tulane at Georgia Tech, an afternoon game on Saturday at 2:30. And odds makers tell you what they think. And, of course, they think Georgia Tech's going to win handily in this game, and all indicators point to that. Is there any chance that won't happen?
I like to think there is, but certainly that is a very challenging offense to defend. And here's one thing to keep in mind for later in the year with this, because Tulane's obviously spending a week practicing on this. This is one of 3 times this year Tulane's going to face the option. They're going to see it again on the road when they go to Army, when they go to Navy. And, you know, that's one of the things that you hear about trying to defend the option is, you know, especially the triple option or the wishbone, whatever you want to call it, but people run it out of different formations, is that it's a different type of football, but it's also the type of things you only see one time a year, and maybe you've only got 1 week to prepare for. Well, first of all, Tulane's seeing it early in the year, so you can imagine they might have snuck in some work in the course of August to try to help them get ready for it. That's one. The other part of it is you're going to see it 3 times now. So even if Tulane doesn't win on Saturday, and obviously, like you said, the odds makers don't think they will, it may be something that helps them for down the road against Army and Navy.
Yeah, you're right. And, of course, LSU gets to play an opener finally at Mississippi State, not the opener they envisioned. That's a late game Saturday evening after 8 o'clock at Starkville. Dak Prescott's still there, and he's still good, though State overall doesn't look as imposing as last year. They're still tough, and LSU's going to have to play well.
They are. And, you know, going on the road, a lot of these guys, you know, it's not just Brandon Harris, and a lot has been made about that, and, you know, a lot about the matchup at quarterback. You got 2 guys who grew up just miles apart from each other going head-to-head at quarterback this week in Harris and Prescott, both from the Shreveport area. But you got a lot of guys who are freshmen who are going to be a big part of this team who maybe saw the field for a play or 2 against McNeese. Yes, they went through the preparation. They had 100,000 people there. They didn't get the repetition of the snaps within the game. And that's the thing Now you're going on the road in SEC play, in a tough place to play. It's going to be a tough place to hear with the cowbells. So that will that's in my mind the key. How do those young guys respond? Not just Brandon Harris, but the other freshmen. How do they respond?
Yeah, right there with you. And, of course, high school football galore, including a lot that you can follow here at sportsnola.com. Big matchup on Friday night. Brother Martin at St. Stanislaus. A couple of great offenses. You can watch it live at sportsnola.com. Tape delayed Saturday at noon on WHNO TV 20. And this one might end by Saturday, right?
I hope so. We got to get everything back so we can show you a game Saturday night on sportsnola.com as well. But it's good thing they got a track that runs around the field there at St. Stanislaus, because this could be a track meet. You've got Brother Martin with all of their offensive weapons. Stanislaus has got Miles Brennan, the quarterback. Obviously, we don't hear a lot about what goes on in Mississippi high school football here in Louisiana. You're going to hear this name. This guy led the nation in passing as a sophomore last year, threw for almost 5,800 yards. He started this year with 3 straight 300-yard games. He's going to be fun to watch.
No doubt. And then, of course, on Saturday, you can listen to the Rummel-Covington game on WGSO 990 AM, WGSO.com. You can also watch it, a live stream at sportsnola.com, as the highly regarded Raiders, ranked 14th in a national poll this week, take on a very good Covington team that beat Franklinton last week, an outstanding 4A team.
Should be a good one. And look, one thing we've learned about how Jay Roth schedules over the years, he's not ducking anyone. He's going to take on all comers, play the best. Last time he'll set foot on a field in Louisiana for 3 weeks, he's got the next 2 on the road out of state. So will be a challenge in that regard. Yeah,
we sure do look forward to it. And, of course, cover it all. Don't miss it all. Hear it all. See it all. The original Friday night, 6 p.m. to midnight coverage on WGSO 990 AM. Our affiliates statewide. And, of course, you can watch it live at sportsnola.com in conjunction with our live scoreboard at sportsnola.com, the best in the state. So it's where you get all your prep coverage on Friday nights.
It is, and of course, remember, we are phone and tablet friendly, so if you're at the games Friday night, just bring up the sportsnola.com scoreboard, or all the information you need. You can get it right there on your phone. Follow along with what's going on wherever you may be on a high school Friday night.
We'll have all the scores because Darryl promises it, okay? He's promising it. He's got it. He's on it. In good hands. Let's check it out. sportsnola.com Friday night. Lenny, as always, thanks. Have a great weekend.
See you Monday.
That's our First NBC Bank weekend preview, brought to you by First NBC Bank, 35 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana and now in the Florida Panhandle and growing. That's First NBC Bank, proud sponsor of sportsnola.com. He's Lenny and I'm Kenny. Darryl's here too. Have a great weekend and God bless you.